Former Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy is planning to resign from Congress by the end of the year. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video today. It is time that we talk about the chaos that is unfolding on Capitol Hill because everyone, it is official. Kevin McCarthy, the disastrous Speaker of the House from the first half of this year, is planning to resign from Congress by the end of the year. That is right. It is official. The young guns, the quote-unquote future of the GOP from 20 years ago, they're all gone. And McCarthy was the last one. And frankly, this is a symbolic change for the GOP. Really, he was one of the last, old guard, part of the old style leadership. The John Boehner types, the Paul Ryans. He was the last one, really. Sure, there's, establishment hacks still, but when you start looking at it, this is symbolic end to what was left of the old GOP, or at least in the House, leadership-wise. You still got the Don Bacons of the world, but this is a pretty substantial retirement. I mean, he's just not even retiring, he's just flat out resigning. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you could join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. So, it is official. Kevin McCarthy is gone, or at least he's gonna be gone by the end of the month. Well, I would say it's a great day. This is really the last old guard in leadership. I mean, you got Steve Scalise, but he's not really part of the Paul Ryan club. McCarthy and Steve Scalise hated each other. He was really the last one of the Paul Ryans, the John Boehners. It really is the end of an era. The young guns, as I called it 15 years ago. Paul Ryan, McCarthy, another bozo. All three of them are gone. So yeah, it's Eric Cantor, by the way. That's the third one. So let's get into it because this is kind of stunning. I knew he was going to probably not run again. Well, I didn't officially for sure know, but I had a good feeling he wasn't going to run again. I mean, he got embarrassed with the speakership stuff, but I didn't think he was going to resign by the end of the year. I thought, he may have resigned late next year, but he wasn't running again. But, well, that's what happened. The ousted speaker is resigning from the House at the end of the year, according to an op-ed he wrote for the Wall Street Journal, concluding a nearly 2-decade congressional career, long marked by his open aspirations of the chamber's top spot, only to lose it after 9 turbulent months. And guess what? It's his fault. It's his freaking fault he lost the speakership. If he did even one thing he promised to do, such as the January 6 tapes, he probably would still be speaker right now. Not on good terms, but people would still keep him in. The fact he did nothing for the GOP, did nothing for the base, kind of a slap in the face. He had it coming. I mean, look what frickin' Speaker Johnson's doing right now. He is having masterful negotiations with the Senate. Right now, there may not be any more aid to Ukraine because he tied it to the border. I mean, just simple stuff like that. Johnson's doing it well so far. McCarthy couldn't even do that. If he had the Ukraine aid, he would have just gave it already. And that's why people don't like him. He didn't fight. He didn't take a stand. At least with Johnson, it's with the Ukraine aid sucks. But that may not happen now because he tied it to the border. And that's why I gotta say, folks, McCarthy did not even the bare minimum in negotiations. He just rolled over and died. I've decided to depart at the House at the end of the year to serve America in new ways. I know my work is only getting started, McCarthy wrote. Oh, as a lobbyist. Don't worry. he's going to be fine. He's going to get a gig at K Street or just become a lobbyist, you know. He's not going to be poor. He's going to be very well off. He's just never going to be the speaker again. The California Republican became the first speaker in history to get ejected from the position, thanks to 8 GOP lawmakers who linked arms with the House Democrats. Few expect him to stay in the House as a rank-and-file member for long. Still, McCarthy is expected to remain active in party affairs, including exacting revenge against the Republican critics who helped torpedo his short-lived speakership. What a petty asshole. I mean, even John Boehner, you know, when he was essentially forced out, not even him, he was this petty. Yeah, he was mad at them, but he kind of just left when he knew he was done. It's unbelievable. I mean, he's focusing more on attacking Matt Gaetz in a R+50 district than, you know, the competitive seats of next year, such as in New York. By the way, Mike Johnson's actually doing a lot of events for the guys in New York. He confirmed he'll still be politically involved in the op-ed, writing that he plans to help recruit the country's best and brightest to run for elected office. He also noted he is committed to lending my experience to support the next generation of leaders. Oh, that's some good advice. Yeah, that's good advice to have. Not. I mean, who wants McCarthy's advice on leadership when he lasted 9 months and got thrown out after he broke many promises and made backroom deals with Dems? Nobody trusts him, and that's why he's gone. There have been tension points as he remained in the House, with some members suspicious that he had meddled in the nasty 3-week-long search for his replacement. Since Speaker Johnson was elected, McCarthy's remained mostly uninvolved in leadership, which, by the way, we know he did. We know from multiple congressmen confirmed that he was playing games with both sides. You know, he's pretending to be pro-Jordan, but secretly, you know, behind closed doors, he was telling Bacon and them, yeah, go ahead. Screw over Jim Jordan, you know. Screw over Steve Scalise. Screw over Tom Emmer. That's who we're dealing with here, a sleazebag. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a vocal ally of the Californian, blamed conservatives and other lawmakers who voted to expel Santos last week for further narrowing the incredibly slim Republican majority come 2024. Well, guess what, Greene? McCarthy never had to resign. He wasn't forced to. Yeah, you could say the Santos stuff was bad, which I agree with. But McCarthy didn't have to resign. If he really wanted to, he could have just stayed. And that's what nobody's mentioning. He could have just stayed if he wanted to, but guess what? No. He's a petty asshole that doesn't give a crap about anybody else but himself. And he decided, nah, I don't want to be a schlep here anymore. I'm going to go to K Street. That's a good idea. That's who we're dealing with, folks. He's not somebody that cares about, you know, he cares about the GOP majority. He doesn't. He cares about himself. Hopefully no one dies, Greene wrote in a post on X. Well, that could be said for also Dems, but whatever. Politico first reported in early October that McCarthy was strongly entertaining leaving Congress after the House GOP picked Johnson as his successor. The former GOP leader denied at the time, saying he would run for re-election, which we knew was bullcrap. He is slated to have a party in his honor on December 13th, hosted by House GOP leadership, thanking it for help delivering the House majority to Republicans. I know, you know, it's a kind of a ceremony, traditional thing, but screw McCarthy. He screwed over J.R. Majewski, screwed over Joe Kent, and several others. He wanted a majority, but not that big of a MAGA majority, or whatever you want to call it. Which we know for a fact, he did screw over Majewski. He fell for that fake story about how Majewski didn't actually, you know, serve, and that crap. Instead of supporting him, he just abandoned him. And there's rumors going around, he made a deal with Dems on that seat. Same thing with Joe Kent. He didn't help us deliver a majority. The majority only happened because Biden's freaking hated. And some people, and aka Zeldin, carried the GOP to victory. Not freaking McCarthy. But either way, this is just a Rip Bozo moment. Take the L. You got wrecked. You got absolutely destroyed by Matt Gaetz. It is absolutely hilarious, this entire situation. Now, as for what happens next, essentially we're probably going to have a special election, you know. And Newsom has to abide by it. He has to do it. But if he resigns after, I believe, Friday, yeah, there doesn't have to be a special election. Newsom could choose not to call one, which he probably won't. So I'm hoping McCarthy just resigns by Friday so we get a special election, so we get somebody in the seat ASAP. But it's like, why wait so long? Just why? If you're going to resign, why didn't you do that back in October, right after the leadership stuff? Now, as for who's probably going to run, I hope it's David Giglio. I hope he's the one that wins this seat, which I think there's a strong possibility. Listen, there's 3 months to go before California, which is crazy to think, but I really hope that David Giglio is somehow able to win this primary, because we need somebody that represents the seat. It's not a D plus 50 seat. It's R plus 30. You need somebody like David Giglio, somebody MAGA, America First, whatever you want to call it. Not a Kevin McCarthy clone. There's already 2 lined up to run, more than likely. But I 100% support David Giglio. I think he can win. I really do think, now that McCarthy's out of the way, he can win. It's an uphill battle, but with it being such a Republican seat, and with Trump being on the ticket, it should be more of a MAGA electorate. But who knows? It is still developing with that primary, but I do support Giglio. Just gotta see what happens. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.